always struck me, and I've always been amused by the fact that every single politician I've ever met, of every single party, in every single borough, always thinks that everybody wants to live in their borough, and nobody in their borough ever wants to move out of their borough. And they are absolutely fixed to no matter where they come from. Although again, you might find it differently and tricky to them. But that's a strong view of London boroughs. And actually, it grows out of that. This is what they reflected back to them by local people. And they live in the borough themselves, and they value that borough and do things in the borough very well. So perhaps there is some logic behind the way politicians think, just for once, perhaps. Now, let me just work. No, this is where I need my 12-year-old boy to tell me what I should do. Oh, no. You just looked at it, it works. If you get up and I want to change the slide, that'll be perfect. I want to ask, we'll cover four things very quickly. I won't actually cover much of what I was told to cover, which is, like, is there a demand for movement? There are experts in the table here who know far more than I do between Julian. I think it's the wrong question. I think it's like asking, does he take sugar? That famous radio program about disabilities. It's a somewhat patronising question. I'll come on to that in a moment. But I will try and cover this, looking at it from a London-wide perspective, as opposed to national regional mobility and choice or sub-regional local. Look at where we've been in London, look at what issues are on the plan, look at where we're going with new proposals for plan and mobility. That's what I intend to cover anyway. I want to start just reflecting back to very famous book, which I was reminded of, which I'd almost forgotten about altogether, and it was on my reading list in my first year at my degree, Family and Kinship in East London by Mark Jones and Peter Wilmot, who famously set up the PSI and then the Young Institute, Young Foundation subsequently. And they did a very groundbreaking study in East London, and actually came to very strong determinants. You want to create communities, let people make choices. And this is actually a fundamental core, of both political parties believe really that generally, though the state may have to intervene, you can decide where it should intervene against people's wishes. In the most extreme examples, taking children into care, that sort of thing. Generally, the rule has to be let people make a choice where they can. And in what sense is it right for the state to say to people in social housing for people, we've made a choice for you that this is the only area you can live in and nowhere else, and that's it. Now, that just seems, for anyone in the room, I'm sure, completely nonsensical. And people will make the best choices for themselves in those cases. Clearly, sometimes the state needs to intervene to make decisions for people. This is not the one they need to make. And it was entertaining that someone brought this to my attention over a few weeks ago, and I dug it out from my sort of old box, and I wish I reread that book. I was about then to pick this up, to go from 50 years on from that. This is a little quote from Boris's own personally handwritten forward. It's much more entertaining than the forward the officers wrote to him. We would never come up with a phrase like, not many people hatch, match and dispatch in these days, or even to say could these days. Or like, if you get like 2 pages on this, between quotes, but he feels this very strongly. It was never an election issue in the campaign. He knew there's a history of problems with capital movement, didn't want to get there. He thought, and he used this phrase himself, he wrote this, it seems absurd. He just assumed it was the case that people could move across, in social housing across London if they wanted to. He had no conception that it wasn't possible. And that phrase, absurd, is exactly the one Ken used when he was interviewing this. He said it's patently absurd, so he just added an adverb. That's what he wants to do. I can't imagine Ken using the phrase good, though. There you go. Well, as a politician responsible as a whole, they sort of makes no sense to think that you can wrap people within the confines of a borough, a boundary. And it is very much a complete ahistorical anomaly. If you go right back to 1889, setting up the London County Council, who were the groundbreaking authority in the whole country in terms of taking on responsibility for building housing for poor people. No one did it the way the LCC did it. From the birth of social housing in London, there has been an ability to move across London without problems. So